I'm ready.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Chat and Chew show. We are so excited that you joined us. This is going to be such a good show. I'm your host, Betty.
And I'm Roxanne.
And we are a show designed to empower you to do relationships better. And today is going to be so fun. You do not want to miss 1 minute of it. But as most of you guys know, if you watch any of the episodes, you already know that I'm married 30 years. Every time I say that, I cannot believe it. And then Roxanne is divorced for how long is it?
Almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years.
So 3 and 30.
Hey, 3 and 3. I don't know. Miss me something. Yeah. And but I remember when Elwood and I got married. We moved to Minnesota. We were brand new married, like a couple weeks in. And he got a job at a church to do music, and so we're new married, no children or anything, and so I was going to go get a job, and I got a job interview, like kind of in the neighborhood of where we were, and Elwood said, I'll drop you off at the interview. We had one car. He dropped me off at the interview, and after the interview, he took so long, I just decided, you know what, I'm not waiting for him. I'm not going to wait for him because I don't know what he's doing, right? I know he said he was coming back, but I'm not going to wait. And I ended up walking home from the job interview, or walking back toward the house, which is probably, I don't know, about 2 miles or so, something like that. And he went, of course, to the place looking for me. I wasn't there. And as he's driving, he found me walking. And he came up, of course, he pulled the car over. And I can't remember now if he was mad or whatever, but I just remember my stance. He was like, I said I was going to come pick you up. And then I said, well, I don't know if I could depend on you. Because I had always lived my life self-reliant, not even thinking like, well, my husband said I was going to pick you up. But my personality type said, I don't need to depend on anybody. And so I got in the car, and we're both confused now because he's like, I'm your husband. Why wouldn't you wait for me to come?
And then, like, was it hot outside?
It wasn't.
Well, that's good. I mean, because, like, all I'm picturing you is, like, in a whole, like, suit coming from an interview and walking 2 miles.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Why would I do that?
2 whole miles. Okay.
And I think the reason that I did that is because what we're going to be talking about today is our personality traits and types. And they, the way we are helps us to, I don't know if it helps us, but it makes us respond to life and relationships in a different way. So stay tuned. This is going to be an exciting show. We're going to be talking about how you can discover what your personality type is.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. That's a crazy story, isn't it?
I actually understand it though.
You do? Yeah, okay. Oh my God.
Because you do, like, because I can be an independent person, and it's like, it's almost like you have to be vulnerable to depend on him.
That's right. That's it. I had to feel like I was vulnerable to depend on him. So welcome back, you guys. We're starting the conversation without you.
Again, it was Betty's fault.
I know, really.
I was sitting here being quiet.
I know.
And then she started talking.
I just started chatting it up. That's why this is called Chat and Chew. But I know that it's just so weird that I would do that. Looking back on it now and understanding what my personality type is, I can see why I did that. So a lot of times, because we don't know our personality type, it makes us react. Yeah. And it makes us act in certain ways toward ourselves and then toward people. So sometimes with your different personality types, you can just wreck a relationship.
Right.
You know, you go into it because you view the world one way. You're just like, okay, this is how I see it. This is how everybody should see it. And then you find out, oh, you don't see it like me? You don't see it like me either? What's wrong with y'all?
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
You do not see the world like I see it.
What is wrong with y'all? And so a lot of times it can just really wreck a relationship. The way you behave and then the way someone else behaves. I'm thinking of a friends of ours, and they're married, and the wife is so strong. She is such a strong personality, and her husband's strong too, except when he gets with her.
Oh,
and her
that's kind of sweet.
No, it's not.
It's not. So far, I think it's sweet.
You know why? Because she's like, I'm saying she's a strong personality. I should just say she's bossy. She is bossy and controlling.
So you were sugarcoating it.
I was sugarcoating it.
And I'm sitting like, oh.
And the reason I was saying that is because her personality type is that you should be this way. You know, aren't you a man? I mean, that's how she carries him.
Oh, no.
She carries him that way in private, and she carries him that way in public. And so for him, his personality type is that he just kind of lets her do her thing. And so to see them interact, sometimes I feel embarrassed. You know what I mean? You see how he's being carried and stuff like that. So their relationship, of course, is on the rocks. But they're trying to hang in there, but that's really tough. And so, you know, sometimes how you act affects
other people. But so do you feel like if they knew what type of person they were, like if he knew the type of person she was, and maybe even she knew herself, that she could kind of like filter that a little bit. Oh yes, and that's what this show is all about. Even though you have a personality type, you don't have to stay there, right? Because there's great qualities to a lot of everybody's personality, but then there's what they call these shadows, or this dark part of all of our personalities. And I think once you realize what it is and you're engulfed into the dark part, then you can start to grow out of that and move away from it. Because the idea, this show is about you doing relationships better. It's not to wreck relationships, you know. It's to do them better. So go ahead. And when I was thinking too, like the other things, I think we often do things out of habit, and not even paying attention to why we're doing it. It's just such a habit ingrained in us. And so if we have someone that can, or something like a personality test that can point out what is that habit and why do I probably do it, and what are the dangers of having that, then I think you can pay attention to how to curb that. You know, and then and actually pay attention to that habit, because you may not even know you're on autopilot, right? I mean, I always say this, you know, some things you got to wear your big girl underwear for this, right? That means you got to be self-aware. You got to recognize, oh, wait a minute, should I say that? Should I respond this way? Even though my personality says I should, this is what I'm prone to and this is how I would lean, but I need to, pause, because what is this doing for our relationship? I think another one is like people at work. Now, I have the great fortune of oftentimes working alone with customers. And so I don't have like my manager, he's great. I love him. Just in case you're watching. Wink, wink, give me that raise.
No, really. But, you know, he will text me or email me. He's a new manager, by the way. And he's like, good job, you know, that kind of thing. And so, and I don't have to work with my coworkers regularly. Every now and then I'll see someone. But I have been in settings where I've had to go to an office every day. And then I see, you know, how different personalities function. Woo. So you are in an office every day.
Cloudy.
Now, you don't have to say names or anything, but
I'll tell you right now it was.
Right. Yeah, these personalities. I remember when I was working at the office. Do you remember Woody's, Woodward and Lothrop? Yes, I worked there. Oh my gosh, like 100 years ago. I was terrible. I was in like an admin. Back then we called them secretaries, but I was terrible at it. But I worked at this little place inside Woody's, which would help you find apartments. And I got up, I forgot why now, to go use the bathroom or shop or something, sneaking away from my desk. And I saw my manager, and she said something like this: get in the office right now. Go back to, that's how she talked to me, in front of the customers or whoever was there.
What?
And I felt so embarrassed. But something rose up in me.
On this day,
which normally I would just have taken it and just like,
not today.
I don't know what, but maybe because she said it in front of people or something. And I remember I got up, I mustered up all this courage. I'm like all shaking. I went in the office, okay, this is what I said. This was not professional. I was like, don't you ever, this is what I said for real. Don't ever talk to me like that. I'm a grown woman. That's what I said. I'm grown. Don't talk to me like I'm all 21.
Did you grab that scarf for her?
Start clapping, right? But her personality was one that it was really strong. And I remember her vaguely because it was a long time ago. She did not get along with people in the office because her personality, you know, was so strong. And a lot of times, all the time, if you can't get along with people at your job, you may be skilled and all of that, but you won't move up.
Yeah, it's so true. That relationship factor is everything.
It's huge.
Yeah. I was actually watching a special, and there was a woman who she did like investment banking, and she said she worked with a lot of white males. And so she actually said her way to success was being vulnerable in that room, because she said what happens is, even in business, we want to know we can trust you.
Yeah.
And so the way we know we can trust you is if we can somehow relate to your situation.
Yeah.
And we can't relate if you don't share anything.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so we don't know what motivates you.
Yeah.
So we can't trust you. So we're not going to give you that project.
That's right.
So it's really interesting how much it matters at work.
Yeah. And if if your personality type, and we're going to go through what some of these are a little bit later, is if you're really needy and needing people, then what you'll do in the workplace is you start latching on to people, and then you'll come around and you'll latch on to people. And one way that you disguise it is you start talking about other people in the office. I don't know. Have you ever worked with anybody like that?
Oh, have I?
You're sitting there, like somebody coming like, so what you think about so and so? You're like, what do you mean? Right? But their personality type is that I need to feel a certain way. So the way that I'm going to do this by talking about other people. Why are you laughing?
Because I knew this woman, I swear. So we sat in cubicles. I was in one office, and there were like 4 cubes all lined up next to each other and back to back. So like 8 total, right?
Yeah.
So you hear everything.
Yeah.
Because it's not a wall.
It's You just, So
this woman, and she was that type that would like, if you were new, she'd be like, yeah, it's nice now, but I'll let you know how. One day she had she had come in from like leave and stuff, and she had like a health issue, and no one knew that she was out on sick leave or whatever would happen. But so what she did was she came and sat in our cube. Like this time I was sharing a cube, and she was like, I'm gonna let you know, don't tell anybody, because I'm not telling anybody in the office. I'm dealing with such and such. And she like told us whatever her issue was. And we were like, okay, we'll be praying for you, sis, da 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 da. And then she literally left our cube, went to the next cube and said, don't tell anybody, I'm not telling anybody in the office, but I'm dealing with X, Y. And we're like, hey, we can hear you. Tell the next person. She goes around the whole cube.
So crazy.
The whole these little 8 cubes, right? Yeah. And we hear her the whole time.
That is hilarious.
So by the end of the day, she comes to us and she's like, so-and-so came up to me and said she's thinking about me and praying for me, hopes I'm okay. How does she find out? Who is telling my business? You are. You are telling your business.
That is so crazy. Oh my gosh.
So when you said that, I'm just like, oh, I know.
Oh yeah.
These people.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And then just another one, just in general, not being able to get along with people. Yeah. So not knowing your personality type can really affect how you get along with people. I mean, it can't be that everybody, it's a problem with everybody you meet.
Everybody else.
Go to the store. Why they you mad because the lady, right? Yeah. You go get your things, to the cleaners. It's the cleaners, right? Your husband, your children. It cannot be everybody. No,
not everybody.
Everybody. So then, again, you have to be self-aware to see, it could be some people, but everybody, maybe it's not everybody, maybe it's you. And I know that's really hard to be able to look in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Yeah. And look, I'm asking him to change his ways, right?
No. Take a look at yourself and make that change. Does anybody know what he says in between that?
I don't know what he said. But I think he was on it, right? And so again, the reason that we're talking about this show today is because when we come back, we're going to be talking about this particular test that both Roxanne and I took. Dun, dun, dun. And it's going to be so fun. So we'll see you on the other side of the break. Now, a delicious word. Let's chew.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Roxanne, and today we're making a Spanish rice. I really love this recipe because it's a meal all in one. And so I love anything that saves time and allows me just to eat my food out of a bowl pretty much and get all my nutrients that I need. So we're going to get started with food prep for this recipe because it's going to move pretty quickly. So we want to start by cutting up 1 green bell pepper, 1 onion, and then measuring out 1.5 cups of rice, uncooked, 2 cups of chicken broth, 1 cup of chunky salsa, and 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, or you can use a garlic clove cut up as well. So we want to start with cooking our meat. So we're going to use 1 package of either, you can use ground turkey, ground beef. I'm using Beyond Beef for this recipe, and we're just going to take 1 package and cook that in a large pan. And we're actually just going to brown it to start. And once it's browned on the outside, we're going to add our green peppers and add our onion and garlic to that. And stir all of that in while the meat continues to cook. And once it's almost cooked, you can, if you have real meat, you may need to drain it. So if you have any juices from your meat, you're going to drain that. Plant-based, you may not have any juices. And so once it's drained, keeping your onions and everything in there, you're going to add your chili powder and stir the chili powder in. Cook it for another just a minute or so just to get that chili powder mixed in. And once you have your chili powder in and the meat is pretty much cooked, we're going to add our rice, our chicken or vegetable broth, and then our chunky salsa. And now you should have all your ingredients in the pan or pot, whichever you use. And once they're in there, you're going to mix that all together, bring it to a boil, and then turn it down to a low or medium low, let it simmer to about 20 minutes until that rice is cooked. And so once that is done, you have pretty much cooked your dish and you can plate it. I've added I sprinkled a little bit of cilantro on top of mine. For both the look and because I like cilantro. And so you can, add some parsley on the side or whatever you want to do to make it look pretty. But it's pretty much an easy dish and should work well at the end of a long day. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time.
All right.
We're on break right now.
Well, that looked delicious.
Some more donuts now?
Well, that looked delicious. We don't even know. We don't even know what it was.
And it looked delicious.
Delicious. That's why this is called Chat and Chew. Isn't it funny? People always want to know why is it called show? Chat and Chew show.
Oh, show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're
I've been asking you?
Yeah, well, not a whole lot of people, but just a few. Chat and Chew show. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we're trying to do more video and not just still. So one day.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. One day we're going to have a real show, though. We're going to have a show for real, on TV.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're on our way.
Oprah.
Just speak it into existence.
Oprah, holla at your girls.
Holla at your girl. Oh, we need a vision board. That has nothing to do with today's episode.
But, okay, hold us accountable, though. We need a vision board. I think that's necessary.
Yeah, it is. Those vision boards, I guess, work. But we digress.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Good. All right. So the test we are talking about, you probably have guessed it already, is called an Enneagram. E-N-N-E-A gram. And that is, Ennea is 9 and gram is writing. There is tons of information out there right now. A lot of the millennials and Gen Zs are way into it. Some of us older people are still doing the Myers-Briggs and the other ones, which those are really good too. I think there's 5 top ones that are really good. But this one, the Enneagram, has changed my life.
Oh, hallelujah.
I'm ready to cry. It changed my life so much.
We need tissue.
I know. And a lot of the information I'm getting from this guy named Ian Cron, and he has written a book called The Road Back to Me. Road Back to You. I forgot the name, but Ian Cron.
Road Back to Us.
Road Back to Us. He should write a book. Ian, write a book called Road Back to Us.
Yes.
But it has been so transforming. So the Enneagram is based on a number system. And so Ennea, again, means 9. And so there are 9 personality types that are out there. They're saying right now there's no scientific basis for any of this. It's just that when people see the results of the test, like 99.999 say, that's me. Right? Yeah. It's an ancient practice. They don't know how it originated. Some people think it originated, through Christianity. Some people think it originated through other types of therapies and things like that. So no one has a real grasp on where it came from. And then over the years, they just kind of upgraded. So now it has resurfaced again. And so if you Google Enneagram, you're going to see tons and tons of information. There are tests that cost, and then there's some free tests. So Roxanne and I, we did the free test. So I'm going to try to guess. Oh, let me tell you what the types are, and then I'm going to guess what Roxanne's is, and she's going to guess mine. Because we don't know each other's yet. All right, so the personality type number 1 is like the perfectionist, the reformer. You want everything to be perfect. You see error in yourself and in the world. You have this inner critic in your head all the time. So that would be a number 1. Number 2 is a helper or a feeler. You can go into a room and you can just see how people feel, and you want to help everybody, and sometimes at the expense of yourself. And the achiever, you're really success-oriented. You have, I think another term I've had for that is shapeshifter.
She did not curse.
I did, right. This is LA Public School.
Shapeshifter.
Right. So, and what you want to do is you know how to fill out the room, and you see what people want, and then you know how to become that for them, which you can already see how that could have a dark side to it, where you always wearing a mask. We don't really know who you are, and then after a while you forget who you are. So you're an achiever. You want to make it, and you're going to kind of do it however you need to. An individualist, which is number 4, is usually sensitive and kind of withdrawn, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and very temperamental. You're just, I almost want to say you remind me of an artist type, just kind of floating and temperamental, that kind of thing. You want to be different and special. The investigator, number 5, is more of like another term they said is an observer, a person who's a thinker. You want to think and observe. I would say these observers or number 5s are more introverted type of people. You recharge from being by yourself. And then number 6 is the loyalist. And most people in the world are 6s.
Oh, really?
They are, yes. So most people in the world are 6s. And the 6 is kind of just for the common good. Right? Oh. If you come up and you tell me it should be this way, I'm going to just roll with you. Oh, all right, that's a number 6. Number 7 is an enthusiast. And I will say, this is my son. He is a number 7. He is the life of the party, fun. Can we just all get along? It's going to work out. The money will come. That's Kaylin.
I can see that.
Oh, yeah. And then number 8 is a challenger. And this is the type of personality where they're like, they just like taking charge, confrontational and challenging the system and everything, right? So that's number 8. And then number 9, they say, is the peacemaker. They say this is the sweetheart of the Enneagrams, is the number 9.
Oh, the sweetheart.
The sweethearts, yeah. They also have a dark side, because you do everything to try to keep the peace, that at the risk of you not being able to confront what is really going on. And so you'll kind of just like, can we just get along?
Can we all just get along?
Right, good. So that was a lot, I know, but that is the 9. So we want to encourage you to go out and take the Enneagram test, because it is going to help you so much to discover who you are. And I think once you can get a grasp on who you are, it doesn't even matter how old you are. You could be a young person or you could be an old person. Knowing who you are can help you relate better to others, and also to help you grow. You're like, you've behaved a certain way all of your life, and I think once you become aware of it, especially if it's unhealthy, then you can grow out of it. I think knowing your number 2 will help you not to live in this narrow view of everybody has to be like me, you know, and then realizing that all of us are different. And then I would say the last one is to celebrate the numbers.
Yeah.
To celebrate the numbers.
Yeah, so true.
So any last words? This felt like a really good, exciting show, at least to me. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Man, I just love this whole self-discovery.
Yeah, I know. I really appreciate it. I love these things.
Yeah.
I love, like, I combine all my personality tests.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have like a running tab in my head of like, well, in this test, I'm in this and that.
Yeah.
So this is fun for me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And take the test and let us know how you did. Just send us your number.
All right, this is a pretty long episode, so we're going to have to divide it into two. So if you want to hear the rest of two, if you want to hear the rest of what happened with the whole Enneagram, I know.
Suspense.
I know, really. Oh, okay, that's what the dun. Okay, then check out number 2. So we'll see you guys on round 2.
See you then.
This show was brought to you by the Chat and Chew Company. Music by Elwood Jones. Lyrics by Roxanne. Bring a Chat and Chew live event to your organization. Contact us at chatandchewshow@gmail.com.